Genetic mutations and disease. Genetic mutations are changes in DNA sequences that occur at any time in an individual's life and in many different cell types. When a mutation occurs in a cell's DNA, it is passed on to the daughter cells when the cell divides. Only some mutations cause disease, depending on where in the genome they occur and in which cell type. A mutation that occurs early in development is more likely to affect a greater portion of the body than a mutation occurring later in life. Some mutations can also be passed on to the next generation. Mutations that occur in the lineage of cells that gives rise to the gametes or germline can be inherited by offspring. Mutations that occur in other body cells, called somatic cells, are typically not transmitted to the offspring. When and where mutations occur makes a big difference. First, let's look at inherited mutations. When a mutation is inherited from a parent by the offspring, all the offspring cells will carry the mutation, including those of their germline. Therefore, the mutation could be passed on to subsequent generations. Well-studied examples of diseases caused by inherited mutations include cystic fibrosis and Huntington's disease. Here, you see that the cells and tissues with the disease-associated mutations are highlighted in red. Next, we'll look at new mutations in the germline. If a mutation associated with the disease occurs during gamete production, the offspring may inherit the mutation from an unaffected parent. This is an example of a new or de novo mutation. Some cases of autism involve de novo mutations. Here, we see the cells and tissues with disease-associated mutations are shown highlighted in red. Next, we'll explore the somatic cell mutations in development. These are mutations that occur in somatic cells. The mutations occur relatively early in an individual's life and can affect the development of specific tissues and organs in the body. For example, hemimegalencephaly is a disease in which part of the brain grows larger than normal. It can be caused by mutations that arise in somatic cells that gives rise to the cells in the specific area of the brain. As a result, the mutation is typically only detected in the affected part of the brain and nowhere else in the body. Here, we see the cells and tissues associated with the disease-causing mutation highlighted in red. Lastly, we'll look at somatic cell mutations that occur later in life. Mutations that occur in somatic cells later in life don't typically affect the individual, but some mutations can lead to cancer. Cancer results primarily from mutations in somatic cells. Cancer itself is not inherited, but individuals can inherit mutations that can increase their risk of developing cancer. For example, people who inherit certain mutations in the BRCA1 or BRCA1 gene are more likely to develop breast cancer and ovarian cancer. Here, we see the cells and tissues with disease-associated mutations highlighted in red. The germline is the lineage of cells that gives rise to an individual's eggs or sperm, otherwise known as gametes. A mutation that occurs in any cell of the germline will be present in some or all of the gametes and can be passed on to the next generation. Development occurs through repeated cycles of cell division and differentiation. Early in development, cells have the potential to become any type of cell in the body. As development progresses, cells differentiate along specific pathways or lineages, and they lose their ability to differentiate into other lineages. Somatic cells are all the cells in the body that are not part of the germline. They differentiate along different lineages that give rise to different tissues and organs in the body. A mutation that occurs in a somatic cell will be passed on to the daughter cells when the cell divides. However, since these mutations are not present in the gametes, they will not be inherited by an individual's offspring. Thank you for watching.